All right, what I thought I'd do is just give you this last little tip in preparing for the final exam. Now, when we did the review earlier, we did all of the kinds of things that are on the final exam, but we didn't go over this in any particular detail. Now, what is the strategy for subtracting fractions or dealing with fractions when there's a different denominator, as we see here? So let's just do this one. Now, 7 is prime. So to find the lowest common denominator, when one of the numbers is prime, you just multiply them together. And this becomes 56. Now, what we want to do is to modify these fractions so their denominator is the same. So we have 4/7. What can we multiply 4/7 by to get a denominator of 56? It's going to be in the form of 1, and I'll even change colors here. And the answer is 8/8. This is a 1. We're multiplying this by 1. And when we do so, we get 7 times 8 is 56, and 4 times 8 is 32. Now we know there's a negative sign between them. Now we want to get the fraction 1/8 in the form of the denominator 56. So what will we multiply 56 by? Well, let's say that again. What will we multiply 8 by to get the 56? There you go. And it's some form of 1. Well, this is going to be 7/7. That's 1. And now our denominator becomes 56, and our numerator becomes a 7. So now we have a common denominator. We just do our numerators, and this gives you 25/56. All right, now looking at this one. Now notice 14 and 15 are not prime. So you want to find what will be our common denominator here. Well, one of the techniques we mentioned is we take the items we're looking to find the common denominator of and do the prime factorization of it. So 14, we have a 2 times 7 is 14. So over here we have the prime factorizations. And 15 is 3 times 5. Now, what will we need to get our common denominator? Well, we're going to need each of these factors since they're all different. So we're going to need a 2, a 7, a 3, and a 5. So in a sense, in this case, we're multiplying, and I'll get my calculator, 14 times 15, and our common denominator is 210. So what do we multiply this fraction by to get it to be 210? And it's some form of 1. Well, it will be 15/15. And this one, 14/14. So now our denominators are both 210. Now we're going to go 9 times 15 and get 135. And this is just going to be 1 times 14 is 14. And now we subtract 14 from this and get 121. over 210. Now, we can't take a 2 out of here, and we can't take a 2 out of, well, we could. Want to simplify our fractions if we can. And if we use the rule of threes, you could factor out a 3 from here, but not out of there. So it looks like this would be our answer. Now, if you went through all of this and you just didn't reduce this to its lowest terms, you would still get lots of partial credit, even if they wanted it reduced and you just didn't see it. But right now it looks like that. Now, I just finished taking the final exam, and that was the one dealing with fractions that I thought you might have some trouble with. It took me 44 minutes to take the final exam. Much of the time was writing out the work. I have it in 3 pages of work that if I were a student, I would need to then submit. Again, keeping in mind the answer is 25%, the work is 75%, and of course if an answer is incorrect and you show the work, I'm able to give partial credit depending on your knowledge and what you've put into your work to show toward the answer. I didn't have to use notes, fortunately. I had all my stuff up in my head. It's going to take you perhaps a little more time using your notes, referencing to check things out. And good luck. We'll wrap this up.